Hi everyone, John here. I'm your Epic consultant and coach for all tips and things and ways to get into the Epic world. So our tip today, I'm going to talk about how do I get Epic certified. So this is a question I get all the time. There are three ways to get Epic certified. Number one, you probably heard of the most, or maybe not have heard of at all. You can get sponsored by a hospital IT department that uses Epic. So some of the big hospitals that use Epic, like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, near me in Michigan, University of Michigan Health System, Henry Ford Health System, Beaumont Health System. All these are hospitals that use the Epic software. The next one, the second way, is getting sponsored by a consulting firm. So you can get a contract. That's kind of how I got started in Epic. They didn't certify me. Um, but that's one way you can do it. You can start off as contract and then maybe go full time with a hospital, and then they'll sponsor you, or the firm will sponsor you as well. A third way is you get sponsored by Epic for working with their company. So you can work as a trainer, you could work as a software developer, just anywhere within the Epic company. It will sponsor you to get certified. Um, you're probably wondering, like, what does sponsored mean? Like, what exactly does that mean? Sponsor just means that they will pay for your training, travel cost, everything, and they will represent you and say that you work for them, whether that's from the firm, the hospital, or Epic, right? So they pay for you to go to training in Verona, Wisconsin, and attend Epic University courses to get certified. Um, when you are hired by a hospital IT department, consulting firm, or Epic, they will work with you to schedule classes. So you'll work with a manager, maybe a director, Epic applications director. You work with them to get the class scheduled. So these classes can range anywhere from a few days to several weeks, depending on the Epic module. My classes, sometimes they space it out. You may have a class for 1 week, take a couple weeks off, then do some more classes. It just kind of depends on the module that you get into. Usually have up to 6 months to get certified by the organization that hires you. That's really is a long time. If you don't get certified by the time, it really is not the thing for you. So you want to make sure you have all the skills that I mentioned in my first tip that I gave out earlier. Most people get certified, I'd say probably in 2 to 3 months. That's probably more realistic. And the certification consists of self-assessments, videos, projects, and exams. It's always the same things, kind of in that order too. So you have to make sure that you pass the projects and exams. It's usually around 80-85% to just pass. It's not like 60%. You have to score very high on these exams. And the good news is, though, you have the ability, it's like open book, open notes, and when you're taking the exam. So that's the good news. So now that you kind of know these things, how can I get Epic certified? Kind of think about, like, how can you get your foot in the door? So I wanted to talk about a job posting example that we can take a look at. So if we look at this one on Indeed, this is really what I recommend for everybody. Search for a job where it says Epic certified in 6 months. You can say Epic certified 3 months. I've seen that as well. So for this job in particular, this is an Epic Cupid Radiant analyst. So these are actually two different Epic modules. So you go ahead and scroll down here. I was looking at this earlier. This is actually really unique. They said Epic certification preferred but not required will train the right candidate. So maybe you could be a clinical person. Maybe you've been an end user of the application and that's like a clinical staff capacity or something. This is another one that I found. Usually you got to scroll down and kind of take your time. So let's see. Certified or proficient in assigned module must be obtained within 6 months of employment date. And if you can't get it done in 6 months, usually what they do is they let you go. So you need to make sure you get that done. And I'll talk about the difference between certification and proficiency in a later tip as well. So this is my quick tip for today. But if you want to hear more tips and information from me, feel free to follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and then keep following me on YouTube as well. I do have a newsletter that goes out every Saturday. So if you want to join that, check out that in my About section as well. If you have any questions, feel free to post. Have a great day.